The race was supposed to start in 23 minutes. 80,000 people filled the grandstands. Television cameras were 0:077 seconds already broadcasting live to more than 40 countries. Sponsors had paid millions for the event. The driver's helmet was 0:1515 seconds on. The countdown clock above the pit lane kept moving. And the car wouldn't start. Not because of a crash, not 0:2424 seconds because of a blown engine, not because of a fuel problem. The car simply refused to come alive. Victoria Kane. 0:3333 seconds stood in the center of the pit garage, staring at a machine worth nearly $18 million while engineers surrounded it. 0:40 seconds from every direction. Laptops, diagnostic carts, factory computers, telemetry specialists, powertrain specialists, electrical specialists. 0:5353 seconds 100 mechanics had looked at the car in the previous 3 hours. 100 and not one of them had an answer. 1:011 minute, 1 second the lead engineer pulled his headset off and looked at Victoria. 1:071 minute, 7 seconds his face told her everything before he spoke. 1:111 minute, 11 seconds, we're out of ideas. The words hit harder than she expected. 1:151 minute, 15 seconds because this wasn't just any race. This was the Grand Prix, the biggest event of the season, the race that could decide. 1:251 minute, 25 seconds the championship. And right now, her car was nothing more than an $18 million sculpture sitting on 4 tires. Around 1:341 minute, 34 seconds the garage had gone silent. Nobody wanted to say what everyone was thinking. If the car didn't start, the 1:421 minute, 42 seconds race was over before it began. Then a voice came from the back of the garage. 1:471 minute, 47 seconds calm, almost casual. 5 minutes. Every head turned. A man stood near the tool cabinets holding a worn diagnostic case. 1:561 minute, 56 seconds gray work shirt, light beard, 42 years old, not wearing a team uniform, not wearing a sponsor logo, just standing. 2:052 minutes, 5 seconds there like he belonged. One of the engineers frowned. Who are you? The man looked at the car, then at the crowd of 2:132 minutes, 13 seconds specialists around it, and finally at Victoria. He said, I can have it running before the race starts. 4A. 2:222 minutes, 22 seconds second, nobody moved. Then several mechanics laughed. One actually shook his head. Victoria stared at him. You. 2:312 minutes, 31 seconds think you can fix something 100 mechanics couldn't. The man looked back at her. 2:382 minutes, 38 seconds completely calm. No. The laughter grew louder. Then he finished the sentence. 2:452 minutes, 45 seconds, I think I can find what they missed. 2:472 minutes, 47 seconds the garage became quiet again because confidence sounded different when it wasn't trying to impress anyone. What? 2:552 minutes, 55 seconds Victoria Kane didn't know was that the man standing in front of her wasn't just another mechanic. And what those 3:033 minutes, 3 second specialists didn't know was that the answer had been sitting in front of them the entire morning. 3:103 minutes, 10 seconds but before we get to that, you need to understand who Ethan Cole was and why the most important lesson he ever. 3:173 minutes, 17 seconds learned came from a garage long before he ever stepped foot inside a Grand Prix pit lane. Ethan Cole did not wake up. 3:253 minutes, 25 seconds that morning expecting to be standing inside a Grand Prix garage. He woke up because his daughter Emma forgot where. 3:3:33 minutes, 33 seconds she had left her science project. The project was a cardboard model of a wind turbine she had spent 4 evenings building at the kitchen table. And at 3:4:13 minutes, 41 seconds 6:32 in the morning, she appeared in the doorway of Ethan's bedroom with the specific expression children wear when. 3:4:93 minutes, 49 seconds they have realized a problem exists and have decided that a parent is the solution. 543 minutes, 54 seconds dad. He opened one eye. I can't find my turbine. 14 minutes, 1 second he sat up immediately. Not because the project itself was important, because Emma thought it was important. There was. 94 minutes, 9 seconds a difference. 5 minutes later, they were searching the house. 144 minutes, 14 seconds the turbine eventually appeared exactly where Ethan suspected it would be, on top of the refrigerator, where Emma had. 224 minutes, 22 seconds placed it the night before to keep the cat from knocking it over. Emma looked relieved. Ethan looked at the clock. 3:04 minutes, 30 seconds school started in 52 minutes. The day was underway. Their house sat on a quiet street outside Newark. Nothing special. 4:04 minutes, 40 seconds 2 bedrooms, small kitchen, old wooden floors. The kind of place that required. 4:64 minutes, 46 seconds constant maintenance, but somehow always felt warm. Emma's notebooks occupied half the kitchen table. Ethan's repair. 554 minutes, 55 seconds manuals occupied the other half. They had been sharing the space for years. 5:005 minutes Emma ate breakfast while reviewing her science presentation. Ethan made coffee and listened. When she finished explaining the project, she looked at 5:095 minutes, 9 seconds him. Do you think it'll work? The turbine? She nodded. He considered the question. The design works. She frowned. 185 minutes, 18 seconds that's not what I asked. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. No, it isn't. She pointed her spoon at him. 5:265 minutes, 26 seconds you always do that. Do what? Answer the question underneath the question. He poured coffee into a travel mug. That's 5:365 minutes, 36 seconds usually the important one. Emma seemed satisfied by this. She opened her notebook and wrote something down. Ethan. 5:445 minutes, 44 seconds had stopped asking what she wrote months ago. The notebook had become her version of a toolbox, a place where useful. 5:515 minutes, 51 seconds things lived until she needed them later. At 7:38, they left the house. At 5:585 minutes, 58 seconds 7:52, Emma was dropped off at school. At 8:10, Ethan was back at the repair shop where he worked. The shop wasn't. 6:076 minutes, 7 seconds glamorous. No television commercials, no racing teams, no celebrity customers, just honest repair work. The kind that 6:166 minutes, 16 seconds paid bills. The kind that kept families moving. The kind most people never noticed until their car stopped working. 6:246 minutes, 24 seconds Ethan preferred it that way. Most mornings followed a predictable rhythm. 6:306 minutes, 30 seconds inspections, diagnostics, repairs, coffee, repeat. The mechanics respected him. Customers trusted him. Nobody asked. 6:396 minutes, 39 seconds many questions about his past, which was exactly how he liked it. There had been a time when his name carried 476 minutes, 47 seconds weight in motorsport circles. A time when engineers argued over his designs and racing teams called him at midnight. 556 minutes, 55 seconds asking for solutions. A time when his work appeared on championship-winning cars. That life felt very far away now. 57 minutes, 5 seconds, not because he missed it, because he didn't. The moment Emma was born, priorities changed. And when her 137 minutes, 13 seconds mother passed away 3 years later, those priorities became permanent. Racing had demanded everything. Fatherhood demanded 17 minutes, 21 seconds more. The choice had never been difficult. The consequences had simply been expensive. At 9:21, his phone 97 minutes, 29 seconds vibrated. He glanced at the screen. The message came from an old friend named Lucas. Lucas still worked in motorsport. 387 minutes, 38 seconds specifically at Kane Motorsport, one of the largest racing organizations in North America. The message contained only 8 words. Grand Prix disaster. 497 minutes, 49 seconds, call me when you're free. Ethan looked at it, then slid the phone back into his pocket. Whatever crisis existed inside a 577 minutes, 57 seconds Grand Prix paddock had nothing to do with him. At least that was what he believed. Across the state. Victoria. 8:48 minutes, 4 seconds Kane was learning otherwise. Because while Ethan spent his morning replacing a faulty alternator on a delivery van. 8:128 minutes, 12 seconds Victoria stood inside a Grand Prix garage surrounded by engineers, executives, sponsors, and one very 8:208 minutes, 20 seconds expensive problem. The championship-leading race car refused to start, and every minute that passed was becoming more expensive than the last. 8:318 minutes, 31 seconds by 11:00, 20 mechanics had examined the vehicle. By noon, the number had reached 50. By 1 o'clock, the total approached 100. 8:428 minutes, 42 seconds. The answer remained exactly where it had been at 9 that morning. Hidden, waiting, patient, the car knew what was wrong. 8:518 minutes, 51 seconds. Nobody had asked it the right question yet. By 1:20 in the afternoon, the atmosphere inside Kane Motorsport's Grand 8:598 minutes, 59 seconds pre-garage had changed completely. The morning had started with confidence. By lunchtime, confidence had become concern. 9:089 minutes, 8 seconds, and now, concern was becoming panic. 9:139 minutes, 13 seconds. The championship race was scheduled to begin in less than 2 hours. 80,000 spectators filled the grandstands. 9:209 minutes, 20 seconds outside. Television crews moved through the paddock. Sponsors were arriving for interviews. Drivers from rival teams. 9:289 minutes, 28 seconds were already preparing for the formation lap. And the most important car in Victoria Kane's organization sat motionless in the center of the garage. 9:389 minutes, 38 seconds. The engine refused to start no matter what anyone tried. The problem itself wasn't dramatic, at least not at first. 9:489 minutes, 48 seconds. The car had completed a normal systems check during the morning inspection. 9:539 minutes, 53 seconds. Telemetry looked healthy. Battery systems reported nominal values. Control modules showed no major faults. 10:0110 minutes, 1 second. Everything appeared normal, which was precisely the problem. Because normal systems weren't supposed to produce a 10:0910 minutes, 9 seconds dead race car. Victoria stood with her arms crossed while another group of engineers rolled diagnostic equipment. 10:17 minutes, 17 seconds toward the vehicle. Around her, people moved quickly. Nobody ran. Professional. 10. 2,410 minutes, 24 seconds. Teams never ran, but there was a specific speed that appeared only when highly trained people were trying not to. 10:31 minutes, 31 seconds. Panic. The garage was moving at that speed. Now, a senior engineer named Carter removed his headset and walked. 10:40 minutes, 40 seconds toward her. His expression was not encouraging. Victoria already knew what he was going to say. We checked the 10:48 minutes, 48 seconds ignition sequence again. She nodded and no change. What about the ECU? Clean the 10:57 minutes, 57 seconds battery management system. Clean the starter circuit. Nothing unusual. 11:0311 minutes, 3 seconds. Victoria closed her eyes for a second. 3 hours. 3 hours of diagnostics. 11:10 minutes, 10 seconds. 3 hours of experts. 3 hours of increasingly expensive guesses. Nothing. 11:17 minutes, 17 seconds across the garage. Mechanics continued removing body panels. Others reviewed telemetry logs. Several specialists sat. 2,611 minutes, 26 seconds in front of computer screens replaying data from the last successful startup sequence. 11:33 minutes, 33 seconds. Every screen told the same story. The car should have started. The fact that it didn't made no sense, which meant the 11:41 minutes, 41 seconds answer was hiding somewhere outside the assumptions everyone was making. Nobody realized that yet. At 1:37, another 11:51 minutes, 51 seconds. Engineering team arrived. Then another, then another. By 2:00, nearly 100. 11:58 minutes, 58 seconds. Mechanics, technicians, specialists, consultants, engineers, and factory representatives had touched the car. 100. 12:0712 minutes, 7 seconds. People, 100 different perspectives, 100 different attempts. The result remained. 12:13 minutes, 13 seconds. Exactly the same. Nothing. The driver, Daniel Reyes, stood quietly near the garage entrance. He had won races all. 12:22 minutes, 22 seconds over the world. He rarely showed emotion before competition. Today was different because drivers understood something. 12:30 minutes, 30 seconds. Engineers often forgot. Cars had personalities and something about this situation felt wrong. Not difficult. 12:39 minutes, 39 seconds. Wrong. Like everyone was looking in the wrong place. Victoria's phone rang. It. 12:45 minutes, 45 seconds was a sponsor. Then another. Then another. Questions, concerns, requests. 12:53 minutes, 53 seconds for updates. Nobody wanted to hear that the championship favorite might not even make it to the starting grid. At 2:18, a 13:0213 minutes, 2 seconds. Television reporter appeared near the garage entrance. Victoria watched security stop her before she got too close. The story was already spreading. 13:13 minutes, 12 seconds. A championship contender unable to start its car. The media loved stories like that, especially when nobody had. 13:13 minutes, 20 seconds. Answers. By 2:30, the pressure inside the garage felt physical. Every mechanic knew it. Every engineer felt it. Every 13:28 13 minutes, 28 seconds sponsor sensed it. And every passing minute made the situation worse. Then something happened that nobody expected. 13:37 13 minutes, 37 seconds An older engineer named Howard quietly approached Victoria. Howard had spent 30 years in racing long enough to know when 13:46 13 minutes, 46 seconds something unusual was happening. He lowered his voice. We're all looking at the same information. 13:53 13 minutes, 53 seconds Victoria stared at him. What does that mean? It means we're asking the same questions. She frowned. 14:03 minutes, 3 seconds and if the answer isn't where we're looking, he didn't finish the sentence. 14:08 minutes, 8 seconds He didn't need to. Victoria understood exactly what he meant. The problem was that nobody knew where else to look. At 14 minutes, 17 seconds That exact moment, 40 miles away, Ethan Cole was finishing a brake replacement. 14:22 14 minutes, 22 seconds He washed his hands, checked his phone, and saw 3 missed calls from Lucas. 14:29 14 minutes, 29 seconds The fourth call came before he could put the phone away. This time, he answered. 14:34 14 minutes, 34 seconds Lucas didn't waste time. You need to get here. Ethan leaned against the workbench. Where? The Grand Prix. No. 14:42 14 minutes, 42 seconds Ethan. No, Lucas sighed. Then he said the words that changed everything. They've got nearly 100 mechanics on it. 14:50 14 minutes, 50 seconds Ethan said nothing. Lucas continued. 14:53 14 minutes, 53 seconds They've been at it for hours. What are the symptoms? The car won't start. Fault codes. Everything points somewhere. 15:0115 minutes, 1 second different. Ethan was quiet. Lucas recognized the silence. It was the silence Ethan always made when he was 15:0915 minutes, 9 seconds thinking. The whole paddock is losing its mind. Still silence. Then Ethan asked a question. A simple question. The 15:18 15 minutes, 18 seconds kind his father used to ask. The kind nobody else ever started with. What happened immediately before the failure? 15:26 15 minutes, 26 seconds Lucas stopped talking. For several seconds, there was only silence on the line. Then he said, nobody's asked that. Ethan looked out the shop window. 3,515 minutes, 35 seconds The afternoon sun reflected off the parking lot. A race car, 100 mechanics, hours of diagnostics. Nobody asking what. 15:44 15 minutes, 44 seconds happened first. The familiar feeling appeared immediately. The feeling that something wasn't being seen, not because. 15:52 15 minutes, 52 seconds People weren't smart enough, because they were looking where everyone else was looking. Lucas finally spoke again. 16:0116 minutes, 1 second Ethan, what are you coming? Ethan glanced at the clock. School pickup was 16:0816 minutes, 8 seconds Still hours away. Emma was safe. Work was finished. And something about the situation bothered him more every 16:15 16 minutes, 15 seconds second. Not the broken car. The question nobody had asked. He picked up his keys. 16:22 16 minutes, 22 seconds I'll be there in 45 minutes at the Grand Prix circuit. Nobody knew it yet. But the first useful question of the day had 16:31 16 minutes, 31 seconds finally been asked. Ethan arrived at the circuit at 3:11. The race was now less than 90 minutes away. The parking lots. 16:40 16 minutes, 40 seconds were full. Fans moved through the walkways carrying flags and merchandise. 16:46 16 minutes, 46 seconds television crews filmed interviews near the paddock entrance. Everything looked normal, which made the situation inside. 16:53 16 minutes, 53 seconds Kane Motorsport even stranger. Because while the event continued around them, the team itself was slowly falling. 17:0117 minutes, 1 second apart. Lucas met him near the security gate. The moment he saw Ethan, relief appeared across his face. Not because. 17:0917 minutes, 9 seconds. Ethan had some magical reputation because Lucas knew something most people didn't. Ethan had a habit of finding problems that everybody else overlooked. 17:20 17 minutes, 20 seconds. Sometimes that was useful. Sometimes it was embarrassing for everyone involved. Today it was probably going to be both. 2,817 minutes, 28 seconds. Lucas looked at the old pickup truck, then at Ethan. You really came. Ethan shrugged. You sounded desperate. We are. 17:37 17 minutes, 37 seconds. Desperate. They started walking toward the garage. Lucas lowered his voice. 17:42 17 minutes, 42 seconds. They've got factory engineers involved now. How many? 98 officially. Ethan laughed quietly. 98, actually, 100 if. 17:51 17 minutes, 51 seconds. You count the consultants. Ethan shook his head. The number itself wasn't impressive. Sometimes one mechanic was too many. 18:0118 minutes, 1 second. Sometimes 10 weren't enough. The quantity of expertise rarely mattered if everyone was looking at the same thing. 18:0818 minutes, 8 seconds. As they approached the garage, the atmosphere changed immediately. The noise outside disappeared. Inside. 18:16 18 minutes, 16 seconds. People weren't talking much. They were working. Fast, focused, frustrated. The race car sat in the center bay with body. 2,518 minutes, 25 seconds. Panels removed. Diagnostic cables covered the floor. Computer screens displayed telemetry data. Groups of 18:33 18 minutes, 33 seconds. Engineers stood around monitors arguing about possible causes. Nobody noticed Ethan at first, which suited him. 18:42 18 minutes, 42 seconds. Perfectly. He preferred watching before speaking. Victoria Kane noticed him about 30 seconds later. She stood near. 5,018 minutes, 50 seconds. The rear of the car reviewing data with 3 senior engineers. When Lucas approached with Ethan beside him, her 18:57 18 minutes, 57 seconds. Expression immediately changed, not angry. Confused, Lucas said, "This is Ethan." Victoria looked him up and down. 19:0719 minutes, 7 seconds. Gray work shirt, work boots, no team credentials, no sponsor badge, no corporate logo. Definitely not what she. 19:15 19 minutes, 15 seconds expected. This is the mechanic. Lucas nodded. Victoria looked at Ethan, then at the 100 people surrounding the 19:22 19 minutes, 22 seconds car, then back at Ethan. You brought me a local mechanic. Lucas didn't answer. 19:29 19 minutes, 29 seconds. Ethan did. You already have a 100 specialists. The engineers nearby exchanged looks. Victoria crossed her arms. And you think you're different? 19:39 19 minutes, 39 seconds no. The answer surprised her. Ethan looked around the garage, then at the race car, then at the diagnostic screens. 19. 4,819 minutes, 48 seconds. I think they're probably very good at what they do. Several engineers seemed pleased by that.